I would be a fool not to go hard for my son anyway. So I might as well just go ahead and tell it all. So while I was in there, I had a vision of, I think her name was Dawn or Jessica Dime. I think they call her off Love and Hip Hop. And she told me to get up when I was down. But I wasn't down like that. I was just waiting on God. And I knew what them people was doing to me was wrong. But for my baby boy, I'm going to just be honest about what I saw and what I heard, because it done went too far. And I don't know everybody personally, but this is what I seen in the spirit. She was like, your sisters is all over here. Basically, I seen they spirits. My sister's spirit was in my apartment with my white baby daddy, my little sister's spirit. And Dawn was like, that ain't right, in the spirit. And I'm just telling you what I saw. And I was standing right there. And at first, I was all shaggy and everything, like how, black women look when we being abused and locked in the cell. I mean, come on now, honey. And all of a sudden, I turned into like another person. I was standing right there. And I had my hair braided, like in these two braids, and it was so beautiful. And you could tell, like, a little, like, my heritage. You could see my heritage in the way that style was. And it was so pretty. I looked so pretty. And I had on nice stuff that didn't even look cheap. And it wasn't no horse stuff. It was nice stuff. And she was standing there with another woman. And I had been so down and out in that cell, y'all. And I had felt my baby moving. And I was smaller than me. And so I had stood up. I was watching myself. And she said, you can have any man you want or something like that. She was like, your sisters, they don't want to see you have, they don't want to see you have nobody. Like, they don't want nobody to be with you. And I was like, it was like one of the first time anybody ever like really just, I done had a few people keep it real with me, but like really kept it real with me on that level. Because that's how it's been in my life with my sisters every time I ever had anybody. But that was pretty much it. And there was another black woman or another woman, but I don't know, she seemed like she was, she was like mixed, but she was there. I don't know, it might have been, I don't know, it was another woman there. And she said something too. And she was basically like, kind of like co-signing with Dawn, what she was saying, like, you beautiful, you can do it, you can get up, and you can have a change in your life, like. And this was when I think, they had some psychiatrists and CPS trying to come up there, because I was asking to be moved to population because of the inmate abuse. And I had been calling my family, and I called my grandmother, and I told my family there was some inmate abuse going on. And I think my people ended up contacting some people. I don't know. I contacted the detective who had the evidence, and I was looking so skinny and tore up after he came back up there, after he had discovered the evidence to my case. And after they started doing torturous things, very torturous things to me back there. And then he came back to see me after they had done this, and to see me again as a follow-up meeting. And I was looking so tore up, and I knew he had known, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you need to get me moved. Y'all need to get me moved back, to population. You know what I'm saying? And by this time, I was getting a little distraught with him, like, come on, bruh. And he was like, okay, I'm going to see what I can do. And so they ended up taking their time, and I had try to get up and get myself together because, I knew that having my hair all on top of my head like that, and I know I can take care of myself, but it's the stress and the abuse, the lies, just the false witnesses, the wickedness, it was just too much. And so after I saw that, it was like they was kind of warning me, like, you got to get up because they trying to make you look like this and that, because you just laying down looking all crazy with your hair on your head. And people is they had people coming around trying to evaluate me. So they had psychiatrists coming past the door, and they looking all in the cell and everything. And I'm laying there, with my hair, and I done been abused, going through this. And I'm like, I need, I was, I'm trying to keep my information to the T right now around everybody, because I hear something out there, but y'all know my medical situation. But anyway, so I would have my hair all on top of my head and everything, and I was asking for a doctor, and Jesus. I was writing requests to be moved. I talked to all the psychiatrists in there. All of them was like, she's not a patient. They was like, you got to contact a sergeant. And then one of the therapists was like, well, they said that the sergeants had to jump on you, that like 16 guards, 15 guards had to jump on you. One of the women who said I was not her patient, she was like, well, I said, well, okay, then I could be moved. She was like, well, they said 15 guards had to jump on you when Cynthia did the witchcraft visitation on me and said all that evil and wickedness. And then so she said, well, 15, they said 15 guards had to jump on you. And I said, well, that would be considered inmate abuse now, would it? And she was like, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. And then another woman came and spoke with me, and I kept speaking with all of them. And I was asking this black girl, when they was handing me certain trays, I asked the black girl, I said, hey, go get me a tray off the other cart. And she went and did it, and it was good food. And they stopped letting the black girls come to serve me the food. But it was more, and so let me not go too off, because I got other things that I need to talk about, and I don't want to draw Dawn name into all of the other details, but that was what was going on in that cell. And I got up and I got myself together, and they ended up moving me into population, but it was a setup. And they thought they was going to keep doing the same thing. And it was a bunch of white women that they had who had charges, who was trying to get me not to go to trial, and who were trying to say that I was not pregnant, and who was trying to fight me, and who was trying to help me be poisoned, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. And they drugged me back into the segregated housing unit after they had did all of this. And I was asking for a doctor, and women was looking at my stomach, and they was asking them to get me a doctor, and they drugged me back there after I had the vision of Larissa trying to fight me. And when they moved me to that cell in D quad or something like that in the front of the jail, I was happy, because I was like, I'm going into labor, and I'll be close to the front door. And I shouldn't have told those white women. God told me when I was coming out of there, he told me not to talk to any of them when I went in there, and I disobeyed. And I told those women, and I showed them my belly, and they got all riled up and asked for the doctor. And then I went to sleep, and there was someone was trying to fight me. All of them was trying to set me up, though. But I think a couple of them maybe one or two might have felt a little bad, but even still was still doing it. And when I went to sleep in the cell, I had a vision of my sister Larissa, my older one. And she tried to fight me, but I overcame her. And Tanisha, the other girl, she came to visit me. I just met her. I think she was a setup all along, too. and she seen bruises on my body. And she tried to fight me too in the spirit, and I overcame her. And there was some other folks with them, but I overcame them all in the spirit. And then I seen me praying in tongues because I had been praying in tongues in that cell that they had me in, trying to make me look crazy. And CPS came trying to make it seem like I had already been found guilty and not wanting to tell me the whereabouts of my son. And I told them that I would get out and that I would come to them with my lawyer because they was not even involved until I gave information of things that they needed to see about my son. And they tried to turn it around on me and then lie and make it seem like I was found guilty in trial already while them people was in there trying to murder me. So when I went into the population with the white girls and I seen my sister, I was praying in tongues all over the jail. I had to pray in the spirit. I needed to. And I do need to do it even more. But I guess when you come from a family where you haven't been brought up really spiritually and in the right place, then when they see one of their siblings developing a gift or trying to, um, uh, nourish a gift, from God and have a relationship, close relationship with God, then here they is trying to make me look like I'm crazy. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30 years old. I'm not a little girl. I need to be praying in the spirit. I need to be doing these things. I don't need to be still holding on to the negativity of my past. I am not a child. I am not a child. But certain things have to be revealed, and God is with me. It's a lot that went on in my life, and I just kept letting it just go on and just try to run from place to place. And when I almost died in that cell, God revealed all of it, and He let me know, no, Andrea, you cannot keep running. That's why they're going to keep doing it. That's why they're going to keep abusing you and abusing you. Sometimes you got to run, but sometimes you got to stand. And when you got to run, you got to run. But when you got to stand, you got to stand. And so I was in the vision, I was praying in tongues in the living room because they have us spiritually in these Negro slave houses. That's how they had, but God said that it's over. Something about it being over. And something about this kingdom that has been built that we live in not being God's kingdom, it's Satan's kingdom. That's what God told me. And God was taking me into His kingdom, and them people in that house was trying to drag me to my death in the spirit, to a bedroom in this little Negro spiritual house. And after I prayed in tongues, they was trying to make it look like, oh, she emancipation, drag her back there because she praying in tongues. But very, very powerful things happened in my spirit life when I prayed in tongues, regardless of what somebody else thought about me, if they happened to have heard it. Like, I always went in secret to do it. So anybody who was listening, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, that was none of their business. That's why I don't mind doing it openly, because I already know people gonna talk about me anyway. So I just don't even mind. I'm like, okay, I'll show you what I do. If somebody told you something about it and tries to sound crazy, then let me show you what I do. And I don't care what you think. But like, I'll go into when I realized the white women was trying to fight me and stuff in the D quad or whatever, I just would tell them to put me in my little cell, because we all had to come in the day room together, and they didn't want me out there in the day room. They wanted me in my cell by myself or whatever. But I needed to lie down, and they was having very strict rules and still denying me the medical care. And all of a sudden, I was sleeping, and this was after these women tried to fight me, and I asked to go in my cell, and they came in my cell, the officers, like 4 or 5 of them maybe, with gloves, and they was like, we taking you back into they was like, we moving you, get up. And I was asleep, and they had been trying to poison me and do stupid stuff. And they stripped us and searched us and tried to take the paper where I pled not guilty and I signed not guilty. because they tried to make me not be able to go in front of the judge, where she actually read me charges and actually let me say how I pleaded in front of her or the court. I don't know how that goes, but I didn't have to do that, my lawyer said. So I had a piece of paper and it asked me how I pled, and I signed not guilty to what they charged me for. They charged me for child endangerment. They charged me for because I'm not about to go through the story right now. They charged me for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They charged me for dispersing a weapon in a public place, and they charged me with child negligence. And so I pled not guilty to all the charges, and I signed that I was not guilty, and I kept my copy, my paper, and my lawyer knew how I pled, and they was searching for the paper, trying to get the paper to my charges, and trying to kill me, and then trying to make up a story about what happened and say that I was sued for my son for something. I don't even know what they was gonna make up all the way, but I do know some of the things, but I don't want to go into all of that. And then they were trying to find the paper and taking us outside and trying to strip us and act like they was doing a search for everybody, but they was trying to search for my paperwork, documents, any evidence that I had pertaining to my case. And then when I was asleep, these people came into the room, and they were standing at the door and telling me to get up, that I was being moved from the population. And the only thing I would do was go watch Joel Osteen when no one was in there, and I would watch other black ministers, and I would read my Bible, and I would drink my water and flush my system, and I would shower, but I wouldn't bother anyone. And the women did hear about my case, and I did show them that I was with child, and there was a lot that they were doing. And so they were telling me I was being moved, and I was like, why am I being moved? And they were like, just come on, you're being moved. And then I was like, well, you need to tell me why. And then they was like, turn around, and they made me turn around and put handcuffs on me. And then they took me, well, as they were taking me, I was asking the sergeant, the white sergeant, because they were all taking me back to the back of the jail. And every time they took me back there, it just felt like they were trying to lead me to my death, and it just felt like a long road where they were like leading me to my death. It didn't feel like they were just taking me to just be a regular inmate in a cell. And so I said to them, while he was taking me, I said, why are you moving me back to the segregated housing unit in the back of the jail? And then I was like, what have I done? And then he was like, no, he was like, we're moving you because you keep telling people that you're pregnant. And then I said, because I am pregnant. And he said, no, you're not. And then I said, how are you going to tell me? I said, are you a doctor? Are you a certified doctor? Have I seen a certified doctor? So if I haven't seen a certified doctor, who is anybody to keep running around talking about, no, you're not pregnant? I said, no, it's okay. And I just was like, Sergeant, I have not done anything. I have not got into it with anybody. Those girls tried to fight me, and you're moving me. And then he was like, ma'am, he was like, well, for your safety, we're going to move you back here. And I'm sitting over there like, dude, you straight lying to me in my face, bruh. Like, and I just let them take me back there, you know. And the inmate abuse continued to where I lost even more weight, and the poison increased in my trays. And they moved the other inmate girls from back there, and left one witch back there who was back there screaming, we're going to kill your baby, all night long in the cell. The time she was a mental patient. And there was men back there beating on the cell, saying stuff about murder and stuff as well. And there was a few other black guys back there, but they were also acting very strange. And everything was a set because God said it was a set. And then I'm about to do Gangs Part 3. I'm gonna just go ahead and do Gangs Part 3 because God said that the cell that they had me in was a set. So I don't want to go into that on this video.